Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and every day we cover up-to-date news, technical analysis, we highlight hidden gems super early so you can go away, do all your research and get in super early and make a ton of cash. If you like making money in crypto, hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a video or a hidden gem that we highlight. So sort of want to cover off some of the latest news around Binance. We're starting to see hedge funds sort of taking a step back or distancing themselves is probably the right way to articulate it from Binance. And there's some other news around Brian Brooks and it's got my spider senses tingling, and whenever that happens I think it's definitely worth sort of going into more detail and sort of talking through what my thoughts and opinions are. So what I'll do is I'll sort of start by going through some of the things that have happened historically with Binance over the recent weeks and months, and then we'll sort of go through some of the more latest news that are in the headlines today, and then we'll wash up with my thoughts and opinions and kind of where I stand with everything Binance. So yeah, trying to look at it from a global point of view rather than just a UK, but you have to forgive me. I am based in the UK, so there is going to be probably a little bit more content around the UK situation than the rest of the global stuff. But I'm going to try to cover as much of it as possible. Really appreciate if you like the content that you mash up that like button. It really does help out the channel immensely. So let's sort of go through what's sort of happened historically, right? So for me, we've got the Binance CEO saying that he feels that there's going to be some real big compliance and regulation or regulatory clarity coming soon. We've seen a number of banks in the UK in particular that have stopped or put limits on the amount of crypto that you're able to buy, and or stopping you from purchasing through Binance. So this all started with the FCA in the UK basically highlighting that Binance have been completing regulated activities without the authority or a license from the FCA here in the UK. So the banks followed this up, in my humble opinion, by basically stopping payments to Binance. Now, initially this started off depositing money into Binance, right? And for me, the regulated activity that the FCA were referring to was e-money, which is basically the storing of money that you guys transfer onto the Binance platform, right? They then basically classed that as e-money. So the banks obviously stopped people from doing this. We've seen Santander, Barclays, NatWest put a limit on generally for crypto, but there are many more. HSBC are a recent one that have come out to stop card payments to Binance. So initially this started with depositing funds onto Binance, right? And that would make sense because of the regulated activity the FCA were talking about. However, it progressed to credit card and debit card payments, right? Now, this isn't what the FCA are talking about, but it's definitely one that the banks wanted to sort of take advantage of. They I guess they see this as an opportunity. So let's be really clear here. Crypto is a real risk to high street banks, right? Because the banks, if you save your money in a bank, for example, the interest that you might get is beyond minimal, right? Whereas if you invest in crypto, the upside, is massive in comparison, right? So you're likely to make an awful lot more money if you put your money into, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Cardano or various other, strong projects in the space, right? But those are probably the three most prominent ones that are regarded as probably the safest in the space at the moment, right? So, you could see why high street banks, would be trying to stop as many payments going to Binance or into crypto, right? But this all stems around Binance. Now, there seems to be sort of a real agenda against Binance. Now, Binance is one of the bigger players in the space, alongside Coinbase and various other platforms. Crypto.com would be another one. So I'd say those are kind of the top three, in my humble opinion. But if you think I'm wrong, do let me know in the comments below. But there seems to be a real agenda against Binance here in particular. But there is no reason for the banks to stop credit card and debit card payments, according to what the FCA initially put out, in my opinion. But if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Love reading that sort of stuff. So let's have a look what else we've got here. So Binance significantly reduced daily withdrawal limits for certain users in a push to basically, comply with regulation. So we've seen this happen recently as well. We also saw, the crypto exchange also get an awful lot of backlash from other parts of the world, right? So, I guess to highlight, particularly in Europe, Hong Kong, Australia, or other areas of the world where they've got immense pushback. And off the back of all of this, we saw the crypto exchange delist euro, pound sterling, the Australian dollar pairs to margin trading as well, right? So there's an awful lot that's sort of happened in the background, right? Now, I guess early on I was saying, I think Binance are a big company. They've got the funds to resolve all these issues. And I still believe that today. But I am just starting to wonder if there's something that's more underlying going on, like whether there's a battle behind the scenes that, is going against Binance in some way, right? We have seen Binance, again, in response, and again, another positive thing that they've done to move things forward, and that was to expand their compliance team amid all the regulatory backlash that they'd been receiving, right? And they also come out and said that they supported demolishing the 500 million ransomware ring as well. So for me, they've really attempted to try to get some real positive PR around what they're doing, in the fight against, the scams and corruption in the space, right? So for me, this is a real positive, move from Binance. I forgot to mention as well, we also see, some pushback in Canada as well, in certain province, in Canada as well. What else we got? We've seen Binance also shut down derivatives trading. I think one of the areas was Hong Kong as well. So we've seen an awful lot, but what's kind of really got me sort of not concerned as such, but starting to wonder whether there is some sort of like other agenda that's going on here, right? That perhaps we're not aware of. And for me, that is this article. So let me sort of get over down to the desktop, right? So it's this one here. So Brian Brooks, quits after just 4 months in charge, right? So let's just get into this article. Brian Brooks has quit as the US CEO of troubled crypto exchange Binance. I'm not going to say they're necessarily troubled just yet, but it's not looking great. Just 4 months after, being in the job, and he's citing differences over strategic decision. So Brooks revealed the move on Twitter, adding that he wishes his former colleagues much success. Letting you all know that I've resigned from CEO of Binance US despite differences over strategic decisions. I wish my former colleagues much success, exciting new things to come. So this could be one of two things, right? Brian Brooks has got another job that is just amazing and he just couldn't turn it down, or there's more to all this regulatory concerns and issues that perhaps people aren't really sort of talking about or able to at this stage now. Yeah, I don't know, my spider senses are going, and it makes me uncomfortable. So, you know, my view is, and I have been saying we shouldn't be keeping you know, high amounts of crypto on exchanges anyway, but you know, I'm being even more careful on moving, you know, my crypto off of Binance and into my hardware wallets. So let's just have a look at what else is here. So the former Coinbase chief legal officer joined Binance in March after a stint as acting controller of the currency. However, his time at the firm has been dogged by regulatory issues around the world, with Watchdog in the UK, Japan, Hong Kong, Germany, and Thailand among those who've taken action over AML and consumer protection concerns. Last month, Binance CEO was moved to write a letter in which he describes compliance as a journey. So we covered that in a previous video. Nothing that the crypto industry and its regulation around the world has been evolving rapidly over the last 4 years, he said. We humbly welcome more constructive guidance to help us to grow better. And for me, you know, it is just that concern around, is there something going on behind the scenes that we're not all aware of, that is sort of running through my mind when it comes to Binance at the minute. I can't see that the moves that they're making are incorrect. I think expanding your compliance team is the right thing to do. You know, looking for positive PR, I think, is the right thing to do. I think, you know, you just have to look at how some of these articles are written, like troubled exchange Binance, and I'm seeing this more and more. And we know that there is an agenda from very wealthy people when it comes to some of these media outlets, and you know, I guess the stories and how they're written do make me concerned in some ways. Overall, I think Binance will be okay. I think they're making the right decisions and they're, you know, moving in the right direction. But it does concern me when I see somebody like Brian Brooks resigning. It does concern me when I see the terminology in which some of these articles are written. And yeah, like, I don't see other exchanges having the same difficulties as Binance. So, you know, for me, are Binance being, you know, have they been trying to sort of circumnavigate the regulatory requirements in countries, or is it just that, you know, enough's enough and they need to comply, or is it a threat to another company? Now, you know, there are other companies that, you know, are very big and got, you know, high wealth individuals invested in them that own exchanges, right? And maybe it's something to do with that. I mean, I'm just joining dots at the moment, but maybe Binance is a threat to some very powerful people. I don't know. But for me, I think Binance will be fine. I think they will comply with the regulations. I just have this little niggling feeling that there's something going on behind the scenes. Not entirely sure. Nobody's told me nothing. But, you know, just something niggling away at me at the moment. So I thought I'd do a video, I'd talk about it, engage with everybody. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are around Binance. Really interested to get your views and opinions around everything Binance. You know, do you have similar concerns to me with what you read in the papers? Now, you know, it is really difficult, and, you know, a lot of this could just be absolute nonsense. You know, we see this all the time. There's always a narrative when it comes to these things, but this one just seems very different to me, and I'm trying to wade through what is BS and what is, you know, stuff that we should be sort of taking on and acknowledging, right? So, you know, let me know in the comments. Really interested to read your views and opinions on everything Binance. You know, you know, where you think you know, we're heading. Don't forget, if you're interested in a hardware wallet, the link is in the description. For me, that is the safest place to keep your crypto, you know, on a hardware wallet. And yeah, I think it's fundamentally important at the moment that we keep our funds very, very safe. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's, you know, this isn't to scare people. I just thought, you know, I should, you know, just talk about it as I see it, and you know, just make sure that everybody's aware of what my thoughts and opinions are on it. So I hope it was informative. Hope it was useful. Not trying to scare anybody, just wanted to sort of get something out to you guys to let you know my thoughts and opinions, and looking forward to reading your comments. So take care. I'll catch you in the next one.